Every night, Daniel woke up at exactly 3:33 a.m. He could see his bedroom, hear the clock, and feel someone breathing beside him. But he could not move his body or open his mouth. At first, Daniel thought it was only a nightmare. He had recently started working night shifts at a hospital. He slept during the day, drank too much coffee, and often stayed awake for almost 20 hours. His mother warned him, "Your body needs rest," but Daniel always replied, "I'll sleep properly when work becomes easier." Then the strange nights began. At exactly 3:33 a.m., Daniel would open his eyes and see a tall, dark figure standing near his bedroom door. The figure never moved, it only watched him. Daniel tried to scream, but no sound came out. He tried to lift his hands, but his entire body felt trapped. After a few seconds, the figure would disappear and Daniel could move again. He searched online and learned about sleep paralysis, a condition where the mind wakes up before the body. The explanation made him feel better. It isn't real, he told himself. My brain is only playing tricks on me. But the next night was different. At 3:33, Daniel opened his eyes and saw the figure standing beside his bed. It slowly leaned closer and whispered, "You should not have woken up." The next morning, Daniel found 3 long scratches on the wall beside his pillow. He stopped sleeping in his bedroom and moved to the living room. But at exactly 3:33 the following night, he woke up frozen again. This time the dark figure was sitting on his chest. Its face was hidden, but Daniel could hear it breathing. Then his phone began recording by itself. When he finally regained control of his body, the figure was gone. Daniel immediately checked the recording. For the first minute, there was only silence. Then he heard his own sleeping voice whisper, "Please leave me alone." A second voice answered, "I cannot leave. You brought me home." Daniel's hands began shaking. That evening, he returned to the hospital and checked the security cameras from the night his problems began. At 3:33 a.m., the video showed Daniel sleeping inside the staff room with Sway. Patient's bed was being pushed past the open door. The patient suddenly sat up and stared directly at Daniel. The nurse pushing the bed did not notice. Daniel paused the video and zoomed in. The patient was the same dark figure he had seen every night. He checked the hospital records and discovered the truth. The patient had died at exactly 3:33 that morning. Daniel finally understood. The figure was not coming from his dreams. It had followed him home from the hospital. That night, Daniel refused to sleep. He kept every light on and watched the clock. At 3:32 a.m., his eyes began to close. He fought to stay awake, but his body was too exhausted. At 3:33, Daniel opened his eyes. He was no longer in his bedroom. He was lying on a hospital bed, unable to move. Doctors stood around him, but they could not hear him screaming. Beside the door stood the dark figure. Smiling, it whispered, "Now you understand. Sometimes sleep is not a place of rest. Sometimes it is a door." Daniel suddenly woke up in his bedroom. It was morning. He laughed with relief, believing it had only been another nightmare. Then he looked at his wrist. A hospital band was wrapped around it. Written on the band were the words, "Time of death 3:33 a.m. Do you think Daniel was still dreaming? Or had the dark figure already taken him to the other side?